So let me describe the Visual Studio stuff for the second assignment. So go and open the Visual Studios. Blah blah blah. Where is it? 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 Ah, okay. Create new project. Double tap. Let's call this project 3. You see, project 3. Next, create. Okay, so it's still setting up. From design. Blah blah blah. Okay, so now that the form has opened, it says write a code. This third assignment says write a code, or actually write a program and design a form that contains two text boxes, so that when click on command button copy, the text copies from the first box to the second text box, but in size 28. So it says here what, write a program and design a form. So this is the form here. We have to design the form with two text boxes. So we need two text boxes. So we go to the toolbox and we need two text boxes. So the first text box, put this one maybe up here, and we need another text box, so maybe put this one down here. Now it says we also need what, a command button, so that when you click the command button, the text, whatever you write here, should be able to move, to copy to the second place. So this is the first text box, this is the second text box. So we need a command button. So a command button you take and you drag. So this is the button. Now let's get the properties. Properties window. So I get the properties window, and then so we have two. So we've created design phase. We have two, what's it called, two text boxes and what, and one button. So maybe just enlarge the button here to make it show. Now you can decide to edit the thing however you want. You can decide to edit it however you want. So the second text box, they asked us that in size 28. So the second text box must be big enough to contain whatever you're going to write in size 28. So just make the second text box bigger than the first text box. Now we can change the color of the background. Let me just try to make this video is like 15 to, let's say, 15 minutes. Let's make it say blue or something. Do the same thing to the other one. Let's make it blue. And the copy button, let's make the appearance maybe red. So custom red. Good. I can change the font size, font color, for instance. So let's change the font color to Let's change the font color to say white now. So we have button one, and whatever you write here will transfer to whatever is in the big will transfer to whatever is in the bigger button. So let's label this button. Let's change the name so the button becomes instead of button one. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my laptop. So button one, good. So instead of button one, we have copy. Instead of button one, we have copy. Enter. So we want to write the code that will allow us to copy from text box one towards to text box two. So you just double click and it takes you to the code. Now private sub blah 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 handles button one click. So when button one is clicked, what do we want? We want the button to copy from the first text box to the second text box. So to write the code, and this is it here. So to write the code, we take text box one, so text box two rather. So text box two dot text must be equal to text box one. You want it to be the same as the text box one, so you must just write it as it must be equal to text box one. What's text box one text? Now we've got that, but there's a caveat. They said you must make it equal. You must copy, but at the same time, the font, that means the size, must be in what 28. We must increase the size, so we need another code to help us increase the size. So what we do now is simple. You take text box two. So text box two. Now we need to modify the font of the text box two. So text box two font. So the font size of text box two must be equal to what a new font. A new font. So open your brackets. What will be the new font? The text box two. Now this code can be a bit confusing. Just copy it the way I write it. Text box two dot font dot font family dot font family. There we go. Then comma 28. That's the size they asked us to write it to. So 28. Then another comma. Make sure you are taking note of the space bar. Full stop font style. Hmm. Don't know why it's not correcting itself. So once you've done this part, I was pausing it. I had to correct some stuff there because of my space. So you've done all these parts. I think that should be the end. Then end sub, end class. So you run the program, debug, start without debugging, blah blah blah. Okay, now it's brought it out. So I can write, say, Arsenal FC, and then I press copy. What happens? It transfers to this place. Now, if you can see, the box that I put cannot quite contain it. It does not contain it very well. So you can always go back and enlarge the box. That's why I said while we're doing this that we should enlarge the box. That's why I made it big. But even so it did not still like contain it. So I can just enlarge the box a bit. So like this now. Although it depends on what you are writing, sha, you can just choose to write something small. So now let's debug again. Eh, Now you can write Arsenal FC. Now press copy. Is big enough to contain it, although the FC doesn't quite show, but as far as it's big enough, just make sure it copies and what is here is here. So that should be all.